J'ai participé au concours de dissertation en 2019 puis en 2020. Actuellement, je suis en licence 2 de biologie, chimie et géosciences à l'université Cheikh Anta Diop de Dakar. Pour la première édition, j'ai été parmi les 12 finalistes. Pour la deuxième édition, j'ai été 3e.
Currently, I'm a 600 level final year medical student of the University of Medical Sciences, Ondo. Okay, so in 2014, I was in SS3, and I remember our English teacher informed us about it. And my mom got a call from somebody, a member of the UBA Foundation, and she goes, they called me, and I qualified to be part of the 12 finalists.
J'ai participé pour avoir l'opportunité d'obtenir une bourse, d'étudier dans une université africaine parce que j'ai toujours été contre la fuite des cerveaux. Toujours je me suis dit, une fois que j'aurai mon bac, je continuerai mes études ici au Sénégal pour montrer aux gens qu'on peut réussir chez soi. Donc quand j'ai vu bourse d'études dans une université africaine de votre choix, je me suis dit, ah super, et c'est pour ça que j'ai participé.
And then they told us to write on patriotism, and I remember for some minutes I was like, what in the world? But it was a really great experience to, I didn't know that I had that on my inside, and I tried. They gave me another trial, and I would say for sure that it brought out the best in me, especially when it comes to writing.
J'étais très contente quand j'étais parmi les 12 finalistes. En plus, voilà, mon père m'a appelé. Il m'a dit ton nom est dans les 12 finalistes. J'ai dit ah oui, je suis allée sur Facebook, j'ai vu, j'étais extrêmement contente. Mon lycée était très fier de moi parce que j'étais la seule candidate qui a déposé. Et j'ai été acceptée parmi les 12 finalistes. Il y avait plus de 2000 copies. Je me suis dit ah, donc malgré le nombre de personnes qui a déposé et le fait que je ne suis pas vraiment dans la ville, je suis un peu reculée. J'ai quand même été acceptée, donc ça m'a fait très plaisir, j'étais très contente.
I was announced the winner, and my mom was very excited, my dad, everybody really. And yes, it was a very great way to be encouraged to develop those potentials that you have on your inside, for example, writing. So I was very excited.
La bourse m'a beaucoup aidée sur le plan éducatif, parce que quand je l'ai reçue, ce que j'ai fait, c'est aller m'acheter des documents, m'acheter des matériels scolaires. Elle m'a aidé tout au long de l'année à assurer mes cours, à assurer le matériel dont j'avais besoin. Voilà, c'était une bourse d'études et je l'ai utilisée pour mes études.
The grant has helped to relieve a lot of financial burden on my parents, you know, paying for school fees and all of that. So it came in handy.
Alors, d'abord des mots de remerciement. Je remercie beaucoup la Fondation UBA pour ce qu'elle fait, pour l'aide qu'elle apporte aux jeunes de ce pays. Ils ont une très belle initiative de promouvoir les études en Afrique. J'espère que plus de fondations, d'organisations prendront exemple sur eux pour promouvoir les études en Afrique et les études littéraires aussi. Parce que le programme L'Afrique qui lit, c'est vraiment des rares programmes qui récompensent les études littéraires. Parce que la plupart du temps, on voit tout le temps les concours, c'est pour les scientifiques, Voilà, aujourd'hui, pour une fois, il y en a un qui change et qui dit lisez et vous serez récompensés. Je pense que c'est très bien et j'espère qu'elle continuera à nous aider.
Thank you so much, UBA Foundation, for the opportunity to develop and discover the hidden potentials that you have. As young people, most of the time we're not necessarily clear on what gifts and abilities we have, but opportunities like this go a long way in helping us to know that there's so much on the inside.
The National Essay Competition is an initiative targeted at senior secondary school students in Africa. This program is part of the Foundation's education initiative, which is aimed at promoting literacy and encouraging healthy and intellectual competition among secondary school students in Nigeria and across Africa. The National Essay Competition started in 2011 and has since then been replicated in several countries across the UBA group, including Senegal, Ghana, Sierra Leone, Uganda and Guinea, with over 129 students receiving educational grants to support their tertiary educations.
I'd like to welcome everyone and join the CEO of the Foundation to say thank you very much for everyone who has played any role, no matter how insignificant tell everyone who has come to this stage that you are indeed a winner. And I want you to clap for yourself. For the first and only first place recipient is getting 3 million naira scholarship. And she is Esiaku Esther Mwezoro of his highest grade school, Enugu.
The National Essay Competition, which is now more commonly referred to as the NEC, was initiated about 9 years ago in 2011. We're now going into 2020, so we're in the 9th year of the National Essay Competition. The purpose of this NEC initiative was to enforce the education initiative of our 3 E's at the UBA Foundation. We have 3 E's at the UBA Foundation. It is education, economic empowerment, and it's the environment. The education aspect is very important to us at the foundation, and the National Essay Competition is a flagship of this education initiative. What we want to do is to give opportunities to less privileged students who would like to pursue tertiary education. A lot of children are able to go as far as primary, and when it gets to secondary, they struggle through, and when it gets to tertiary, they may not even have the resources to be able to pursue that education. Their families may not be able to give them the resources or provide the resources that help them get through tertiary education to change their lives, to improve their lives. So at the UBA Foundation, we realized that, just giving a little to one person, 2 people, a handful of people, as it grows, we're giving to hopefully thousands of people in the future to be able to change their lives, not just their lives, but the lives of their families.
The program took an unexpected turn due to the global COVID-19 pandemic. However, it pivoted to enable students to submit their entries virtually despite the trying times. Since inception, the National Essay Competition has directly impacted hundreds of African youths in their pursuit of higher education. The highly educated and well-informed youth is critical to the future of Africa. Quality education is therefore crucial in developing the manpower needed by Africa to exploit emerging opportunities and propel the continent to higher levels of development. For this reason, the Foundation is actively involved in facilitating educational projects and bridging the literacy gap on a pan-African scale. The education pillar of UBA Foundation guarantees this commitment.
So we've had a few students who have graduated. Recently, we celebrated the graduation of one student in Ghana. And when they graduate, what they're able to do is to feed their families, is to help themselves grow bigger. And when we see this, we know that what we're doing in the National Essay Competition is impacting lives, it's impacting communities, it's impacting countries.
Right from our nursery school age, she has been performing very well. And she's somebody that loves writing. She's a science student, but she likes writing. And I keep complaining, don't you know you're a science student? All the time is novels, you like writing stories. And she will say, but I'm still reading. But I really thank God that even with that, she has been performing well. In her sciences, in her writing, everything has been well. She has been doing well. So I'm happy about that.
So I was trying to build myself up. I was trying to get better at writing. So it was a challenge for me. If I try my best, I know I can win it.
Actually, we won't feel happy to have a student coming out, with such a performance as this. So, today I'm delighted. I'm happy. Not just for her alone, for everyone, because they all encourage me to us.
To UBA Foundation, I want to say thank you for making me to discover this writing potential in me. All those that actually believed in me. Thank you.
The UBA Foundation's Read Africa program started in 2012. The initiative is geared at rekindling the dwindling reading culture amongst African youths. Our children no longer read. Their passion for reading informative and educative books is fast eroding, and this is part of the ills we want to correct in the continent's educational sector. Since inception, the UBA Foundation has donated approximately over 200,000 books to students in Ghana, Liberia, Cameroon, Burkina Faso, Benin, Côte d'Ivoire, Senegal, Mali, Congo DRC, Congo Brazzaville, Gabon, Guinea, Mozambique, Kenya, Zambia, Uganda, Tanzania, Chad, Sierra Leone, and Nigeria, supporting both African authors and students across the continent.
The Read Africa program was started in 2011, 9 years ago, and it was created in reaction to the dwindling reading culture in our youth. A highly educated and well-informed youth is crucial to the future of Africa. Quality education is essential in developing the manpower needed by Africa to exploit emerging opportunities and to propel the continent to higher levels of development. We implore you and your wards to prioritize education and knowledge in all aspects of life, because we know that an informed African youth is always unstoppable.
Projects that do not fall under the three primary areas of the Foundation, education, environment, empowerment, form the special projects focus area. We believe in intervening and capacity building within the community to help them in embarking on projects that act as a catalyst to social and economic development. Some of the contributions and donations the Foundation makes to improve adverse living conditions.
For me personally, I like giving out to the less privileged. So the most impactful event that we do as a bank through UBA Foundation is when we give out to the less privileged. Sometimes we buy what they need and we take it to the less privileged. We go to the deaf and dumb organizations, we go to the less privileged, we go to orphanage homes, and when you get there, you know, you feel the reality of life. You see yourself in the midst of people that don't have the same privilege that you have, are not privileged in life, and you begin to wonder, and you know, it draws you back in life. So it's that part that really touches me, and that's the part that makes me feel, yes, we are actually impacting our society.
In the morning of August 14th, 2017, 3 days of torrential rain and flooding unleashed devastating mudslides which came crashing into Sierra Leone's capital city, Freetown. Heavy rainfall continued throughout the country during an especially wet rainy season, bringing what is considered one of the worst natural disasters. The group chairman, TOE, in the company of former president of Nigeria, Olusegun Obasanjo, made a donation of $500,000 to the Sierra Leonean government.
The mudslide disaster that happened in 2017 was quite catastrophic. It killed over 500 people and displaced over 3,000 people. UBA Foundation was the first corporate entity to make a financial donation of the sum of $500,000 to the government of Sierra Leone to ameliorate the impact, the negative impact of that disaster.
On the 26th of March 2020, United Bank for Africa PLC announced a donation of over 5 billion naira, equivalent of $14 million through the UBA Foundation to catalyze a comprehensive pan-African response to the fight against the coronavirus COVID-19 global pandemic. The donation will provide significant and much-needed support to Nigeria and 19 other African countries by supplying relief materials, critical care facilities, and financial support to governments.
COVID event of 2022 took the whole world by surprise. The impact was phenomenal. The financial resource requirement to curtail it is enormous. It is something that cannot be left alone to the government.
COVID came, COVID happened to the whole world, and I can tell you that one of the greatest things that UBA did was to stand up and say we're supporting governments in terms of fighting COVID in Africa. And if I'm not wrong, UBA will be the first bank that would bring out a whopping sum of $14 million to share to countries where they operate to fight COVID. In Senegal, in particular, a total sum of $150 million CFA was given to the government.
The UBA Foundation also donated $150,000 to the government of Sierra Leone to curtail the negative impact of the COVID.
So our contribution helped the government in a way that they were able to provide, with particular reference to COVID, test kits that they could use to immediately detect people that had COVID for immediate treatment. It also helped in providing one essential gadget that was needed. That was oxygen machines to be able to help people that had severe cases. I want to say UBA set an example that will be very difficult to break in the near future.
Launched in 2018, the Each One Teach One initiative, the UBA Community Service presents an opportunity for UBA staff members to give back a little of their time and skills to their communities and assisting young students and people living with disabilities, as well as training sessions on financial literacy and the importance of developing saving habits. As an organization, we are committed to giving back as a family, starting with imparting knowledge and skills to students and participants.
What Each One Teach One is about is literally what it says. Each person should teach at least one person a skill that will help them get along with life, that will help them maybe even make an extra income.
The foundation maintains 3 gardens across Nigeria. UBA Foundation also creates employment opportunities for youths every year, and this has been done over a 5-year period. Most of the staff sponsor their own education through the income they earn and the flexibility of their work schedule.
I have worked with UBA Foundation for about 8 years now, and I started in UBA as a cleaner. Then I got employed into UBA Foundation as office assistant. My family background is not that strong, so I needed to go to school and acquire education. So I picked up the job in order to be able to enhance my education. I really enjoy what I do for UBA Foundation, and they have always been there for me in every time and everywhere. I moved from office assistant to being an operation person. The UBA Foundation have impacted me in many ways. One, I was able to get my degree from them. Financially, they have impacted me. Secondly, from it also, I've been able to set up a family. I'm a married man now. I have a wife and I'm expecting my children. In the future, I would like to have a foundation also, where I will also give back to others, just as I was given by UBA Foundation.
UBA Foundation launched the first edition of the annual food bank on December 20th, 2019, where thousands of members from our host communities were offered meals and other essentials of living.
During Christmas, everybody celebrates. We're always very happy, you know, people are giving you gifts, there's plenty to eat, a lot of parties, so much to do and so much to be grateful for.
The food bank is held during the Yuletide and is a gesture by the foundation to give back to the communities where we conduct businesses. Because for us at the foundation, impacting lives and playing a role in redefining the lives of young people and spreading hope to others is what keeps us going. What we care about is giving back and touching lives.